performance GT radial driver of this 86. Dan Burkett, beautiful looking, always in that Mark IV Toyota Supra. The gear wrench, Rad Industries Toyota Supra will be chasing him down. So let's see, again, Dan Burkett barely got into the top 32. It was kind of pins and needles there with Trenton Beecham, almost knocking him out, but here he is. He's in it to win it. Let's see if he's going to win it. Kazuya Taguchi coming down the straight, now launching into that first outside zone, officially turning the wheels here in Seattle. Kazuya Taguchi, big angle there. Dan Burkett needs to be a little bit higher. Kazuya Taguchi still maintaining, riding that high line, coming to that second outside zone. Absolutely spot on with that second outside zone. Looks like Brad Dan needs to get a little more pressure to the side of the 86. Nice job, and there it is. Dan does dive in on that last outside zone, but what a great way to start. Again, most recent winner in St. Louis, back-to-back number one qualifier, and Dan Burkett who's going for it.
Here he is. Yeah, Taguchi right here, he needs to run that basically what he ran in qualifying, and he's doing it. You can see there, an outside zone 1, really high in the zone. Right there next to him is Burkett on a slightly tighter line, but not too serious. He's doing a pretty good job here of maintaining proximity. A couple of little bobbles there approaching outside zone 2. Great transition from Taguchi to outside zone 3. Dan's a little bit inside. He's not able to get all the way wide on zone 3. And right here you can see Taguchi, great job through zone 4, taps the wall, straightens ever so slightly, just loses a bit of angle there through zone 4. And you can see Dan's right there next to him. So Taguchi may have pushed a little too hard in zone 4, did that little wall tap, and of course that's going to take away slightly from his lead run because he did lose some angle as he crossed the finish line.
Yeah, all these things are taken into consideration. You know, lead versus lead, chase versus chase, all these elements combined. I like I said, with Ryan Sage now assuming the role of president, you know, co-founder with Jim Lau stepping down as president, Ryan Sage. I say all that because here you are next to me in the booth and just going straight to the horse's mouth, not calling you a horse, but you know, you are a judge. So going straight to the judge's mouth and getting all the insight directly from you and alongside your judges. And sometimes you don't see eye to eye on things. You see certain things or you're focused on particular elements, but I think it's a great tool to utilize you as far as insight. Here we go, Dan Burkett leading. Good initiation by Dan Burkett. You saw that right to angle. That's what we're looking for. Get to it quickly. And Kazuya Taguchi, you can see him take a little angle at it, gaining proximity, but he does need to mimic that angle. And Taguchi goes off course. Holy cow. He is going absolutely on the inside. I want to run that back and see, was he hit, was he impeded, or he just pushed too hard? He might have got blinded by the smoke. Again, pure speculation at this point. I'm looking with my naked eye over to the right and then also look at the replay. Definitely want to run that back.
I think you're right, Jared. It looked like Taguchi just got lost in the smoke and couldn't see where he was on the track and didn't track in there for outside zone number 2 and instead stayed a little bit too wide. So let's watch it through the drone here, which will give us everything we need to see kind of above the smoke. But great job from Dan on initiation. He's really high on outside zone 1. Taguchi's right there with him, nice and close. Watch right here. Dan gets himself... Yeah, we'll have to look at that. Well, it looked like Dan went a little bit wide as he was leaving outside zone number 1 and maybe tried to stay on the track there. I'm not saying he decelled aggressively, but maybe he had a bit of a decel there as he comes off of outside zone number 1. You can see he angles up quite a bit. And right there, you can see he goes wide before the zone. So it looked like Taguchi was trying to mimic him and maybe was trying to avoid contact with him in that area. But these are all maybes. We have to figure out exactly what happened here and find, not fault necessarily, but see why it is that Taguchi went off. And Taguchi's car's on fire there, by the way. That looked pretty cool. The whole left rear of the car was flaming up. So
and this is where all the replays, go ahead and analyze. You know, do your job, and the task at hand is basically you judging. But you can see Dan Burkett, like you said, it's all these different perspectives. This is what the judges need to analyze. You know, who's at fault. And again, the scenarios here is we know that Taguchi goes off course. Was he impeded by Dan going long? Did he just kind of make a mistake on his own accord? That's what gets analyzed here. And again, I'm just kind of laying out, letting you, Ryan Lantagne, and the other 2 judges, Chris Yule and Brian Egger. I failed to introduce them earlier, but our 3 judges who have been for a few years, Chris Yule, Brian Egger, and Ryan Lantagne. So you could see, again, that Kazuya Taguchi, most recent winner in St. Louis, round 5. And here we are, like we said, quickly, we're already here at round 6, round 7 and 8 still remaining. And this course always just you know, just has a very interesting vibe coming into it. There are the outside zones, and outside zone 1, obviously that big bank there, and you want to see them, as we said, those keys to victory, get high in the bank with that angle. We saw Taguchi kind of take a little bit of angle out of it, gaining that proximity. It looked like he was dropping in formation, going to outside zone 2 into what I call the power alley. They go into outside zone 3 with that transition, tighten it up to the inside clip, and it really tightens. Their neighbors here, a beautiful looking crowd out here. Let's take a look. Slide them left for Taguchi, right for Dan Burkett. We got 1, 2, and Dan Burkett gets the victory. So 2-1. And here we are with Yves Meyer and Dean Carney. See how they go through the start chicane. That chicane is meant to pair them up, not a drag race to that first initiation point, just as Yves Meyer slingshots his way in. Good angle from Yves Meyer. Dean Carney, he is absolutely mimicking the angle, but he needs to get closer to Yves Meyer if he wants to leave this not in the judges' hands. I mean, look at how thick that smoke is, Ryan. Just when they cut through, that's got to just be so difficult going through that power alley. You're looking out your window, smoke's being thrown in your door, and a great run there from Yves Meyer out front. Great run from Yves. Let's take a look at it again. Here we go, Yves out front and Dean Carney in the chase.
Yeah, that might have been one of the best runs we saw from Yves. He qualified 16th, which may be one of his higher qualifying positions, but look how he's getting himself up on outside zone 1 here. And you can see, like you said, Dean Carney on the same line, maybe slightly lower, but just not in proximity. We'd like to see him a lot closer there. And Yves Meyer gets into outside zone 2, but Dean does not get into outside zone 2. Better job through outside zone 3. Great mimic on transition there as they go to outside zone 4. So Dean needs to be closer in the chase position. You know, he's putting together good transitions, mimicking what he's doing, but needs to be closer. So as we flip the positions here, Yves to have an advantage chase to chase now. If he can do close to what Dean Carney was doing in terms of mimic, but closer, he's going to have an advantage chase to chase. So right now, it looked like Yves Meyer's car was fast right there. He was able to, stay ahead of Dean Carney with that big V10. So let's see what happens when he's in the chase position behind that car.
Yeah, like you said, this is probably one of the best. Oh, we got contact there.
Well, Yves Meyer was definitely not where he should be.
Elaborate on that.
Yeah, so at initiation, the chase car needs to give the lead driver the space to do whatever type of initiation they want to do. So that means if the lead driver wants to do a flick at initiation, which means get angle in the car in one direction before they initiate, it's sort of that Scandinavian flick that we all know and love. But if the chase car is right next to him, you could see on run-up, Yves Meyer was actually ahead of Dean Carney for a little while, and you could see clearly Dean did not have the space to do that initiation. So the eye in the sky right now is going to give us a great view of what occurred. Right there, you can see Yves is ahead of Dean. Dean goes in to make his initiation, and well, Yves is right there.
I think Dean honestly risked it. He knew he was out there, but hey, man, you're in my way. This is a mosh pit. You know, you go to a punk rock show and you're going to get smashed if you're up front stage. And that's unfortunately Yves Meyer was right on the rail and he caught the Viper with the fangs, baby. Watch this. So hey,
you see a right rear wheel to front left wheel, and you can see Dean's car kind of flew in the air there. The, rubber to rubber kind of lifted Dean's Viper up off the ground. So Dean is going to definitely want to look at that car, and right now we're going to have an assessment of fault. And as I explained it, it should be Dean Carney that gets to fix his car without any kind of competition timeout taken.
Yeah, and if we look at that again, was Dean initiating at the point because you and the judges, the drivers need to initiate at the point of no return. Basically, the 3-2-1 cones, they need to initiate no later than that number 1 cone, and it seemed like he was going at it. I mean, initiating on that straightaway, and the 3-2-1 cones, you could see them. They're green. So let's take a look at it again. Yeah. Did Dean initiate at the right point? Was he too late? I'm again just analyzing this.
Right. Yeah, he's plenty early. That's right before the 3, and that's where a driver would go down the track, inside the track a little bit before driving up to initiation. So that is right in the heart of where that would occur. So definitely, Dean was totally in his right here to do that move. When they're driving these cars, somebody might say, well, didn't he see him there? As you're accelerating up, you're looking forward. Of course, you've got your peripheral vision, but remember, these drivers have helmets with Hans devices and halo seats. So your peripheral vision is blocked somewhat by all of those things. So as he's driving up, he's going to go, this is where I initiate. I go down to the right, and then I'm going to initiate to the left. So that's clearly what happened.
And the other scenario here is he saw Yves Meyer go ahead of him, and so I would have to assume Yves Meyer's at fault. And now with that being said, basically the run comes to a halt. So yeah, go ahead and submit, and we will find out. So that's a run. It's not go fix your car and do it. He and Pete on the run. It's over. That's it. So they left the start line.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was so caught up in the moment thinking, okay, who does what now? And it's like, oh wait, that was the second run of the battle.
That's the second run. It's unfortunately with Yves had a great lead run.
He had an amazing lead run. He did. Yeah.
And there it is. Dean Carney gets the win. The HyperNFT.io Viper, not the way you want to get him. Again, Yves Meyer, a great lead giving track of the Formula Drift Championship. Not only did he have to fix his car and get it back up just a few weeks later, but also he got married that week. So congratulations to him. Celebrations, this, that, and he's currently leading the championship without a win. That's the big statement. Yeah. And again, we have seen the championship being gained without getting an overall win. Here we go. The frenemies doing battle. Teal Blue, Falcon Tire. What do we got, boys? Matt Field throws it into that first big outside zone. Odi Boxes looks like he's kind of pedaling back a little bit. Oh, now he jumps up. Odi Boxes right there on the door. Matt Field. These guys have had a lot of fun on course, but now it's all about the points and the finish. Odi Boxes transitions. Oh, man. You can see that going to that third outside zone. Odi Boxes didn't get as deep as Matt Field. You can see him trying to surge that attack. Getting right next to him. Oh, Doctor, come on. This is a huge battle right here. And that's what we expected. But when it starts this early, I mean, the hair's standing up my arms. I don't know about you.
Woo, that was a lot of fun. Let's watch this replay, Jared, as they get initiated. Great mimic by Odi. Great lead initiation there by Matt. The line on outside zone 1, really well done there. You can see Odi getting nice and close. A little bit of movement in his car, but he's working hard to stay close. They come through outside zone 2. And right here, you could see Odi take a chance. The way he dove in, it didn't quite pay off the way I think he wanted it to, but he stayed close. Got close at inside clip, but he kind of fell back a little bit after that transition and had to adjust his line a little bit. So not perfect from Odi in the chase. Definitely had that error right there. Let's watch it from the ground cameras again here. Great line from Field in the lead, and you can see Odi's right there. Just moving around ever so slightly in the chase. You can see there Field leaves outside zone 1 really well. Goes to outside zone 2. The transition right there again. That's where Odi took that chance. Got a little bit too close. Had to slow down. Backed off a bit. And then he was on a bit of a weird line there. And you can see he's still not on the right line until the very end of outside zone 4. So that is going to hurt Odi a little bit in the chase position as we do a chase-to-chase comparison. But, of course, Matt Field has to do that or better now in the chase position to stay alive in this battle.
Absolutely. So big ask here for Odi Boxes, and you talked about the risk versus reward, and I think Odi, knowing Matt, he's going to absolutely just go for blood. I mean, he's going for the kill right now. Here we go. Odi Boxes initiates. Here comes Matt Field. Looks like a very similar lines. Watch how he gains proximity. Now, how's he going to handle it? Going to the power alley. Odi Boxes out front. Do we have contact?
That was
there?
A hit.
Houston, do we have a problem? Out to outside zone 3. You can see Matt Field. He pedaled back. He didn't take that big risk there. Looks like, again, composure. He knows he might have a little bit of an advantage. I want to, you gave me a little O over here. I was looking out the window, not utilizing the screens here. Was there contact there coming off the bank into that power alley?
I think there was, and let's look at, so first of all, I want to see how high Odi was on outside zone 1. Let's look at his line as he comes around outside zone 1. Was it as high as Field? I don't think it was. Look how much gap there is there between the back of Odi's car and the wall.
Oh,
right there, that's wheel-to-wheel contact, isn't it? Coming off of outside zone 1, but they both stay in it. There's just a little bobble from both of them, but they just keep going. They stay in it. Beautiful job from both drivers there handling that contact. There may have been a little bump there in outside zone 4 too. But looking at lead to lead, look at where Odi's car is here as we watch from a different view. Look at how much air there is between the back bumper and the wall. I don't think he quite had the same line that Field did in his lead run. Right there's the hit, but they both stay in it. Little correction from both of them. Field may have missed outside zone 2 there in the chase, but from the hit to that point, you can understand why. Coming to outside zone 4 right there. Wow, that was an exciting battle from these two, let's call them juggernauts.
Yeah, absolutely juggernauts. And, these guys, you could see, man, some awesome driving there. And be sure to come by the K&N booth at the halftime. I'll be hosting a little hangout with Matt Field, actually. So myself, alongside Chelsea Denofa, Forsberg, Dylan Hughes, Ryan Turek, Federico Sharifo, and Larry Chen. So halftime hangout over at the K&N booth, including that gentleman, our current points leader, Matt Field. Does he hold on to it, or did Odi Bakshis take him out? Again, not exactly perfect on both sides of the lead and chase.
Yeah, so let's look at, as we do this side by side here, you can put one eyeball on each screen and try to figure out what occurred as they both come around outside zone 2 area. That little hit between Field and Odi while Field was chasing didn't seem to affect either one of them that much. They both got through that pretty well. So you can see there that it's pretty tight. There may be some advantages, though, from both drivers in certain situations. So it's going to be up to the 3 of us. My vote's already in, but the other guys, I'm not sure. So we'll see what happens as they make their decisions. And this is exciting.
Yeah, we talked about it, and this is a great way, just into 32, how it's come. Oh, here we go. Slide him left for Field, right for Odi. We got it one more time, a Matt Field, and one more time. Throw it down to Chris Ewell. Chris, going down to you. Chris Ewell, the other judge alongside Ryan Lantain, Brian Egger, and Chris. Chris, going to you. You and Brian with the one more time. Your justification.
Yeah, I didn't like as much Odi's bank run. He wasn't as high. And then when Matt in his lead went into outer 3, he kind of parked it a little bit, which affected Odi, and Odi made a good adjustment. So I felt like, it's kind of ticky-tack and offsetting, and let's just do it again.
I like it. Yeah, that's good. Just keep it clean. They both had mistakes on either side in different areas and different portions. So, all right, here we go. So one more time between the frenemies. The plot thickens here, and they just got to see what each other does. Now we go back to Frederick Aasbo and Joshua Love. Frederick Aasbo, the 2-time champ in that Rockstar energy drink. Toyota GR Supra on Nitto tires. Joshua Love ready to throw down. That Jasper Keys, a new sponsor for him, so congratulations to him. Let's see how the BMW throws down. And here goes Frederick Aasbo out front, the gold nose. Keeps it tight to the wall. The alternator obviously changed out. Kudos to Josh Love and his team for getting the car back up and going against that 2-time champ. Digs deep into that second outside zone. A little bit not as deep is Love, then Aasbo, and now that final outside zone. Ooh, Joshua Love knocks off that back bumper.
How much did that affect him, Jared, the hit? You could see the car moving through the smoke from out of view.
The attitude definitely, it jarred him. It definitely jarred him.
We'll have to see that from the drone. So let's look at the replay as they accelerate up to initiation point here. Nice flick from Aasbo in the lead position. And you see in the chase there, Love did a really nice initiation as well. Aasbo's high, no movement from the car whatsoever on outside zone 1. But you can see Love a little bit lower in the chase position there, not filling outside zone as well. A little bit lower angle through zone 2 than Aasbo. And right there, he dives off of outside zone 3 early to try to get proximity. And he does do that, but makes a little compromise. Right there, he did straighten over the finish line after that hit. So that may or may not be, depending on who you ask, of the 3 of us, an incomplete from Love in the chase position due to that wall tap and the resulting straighten.
And you always talk about it, not only on that last outside zone, but kissing it, or I like to call it a hate tap versus a love tap, but you hate to see it, but you love to see it. There's degrees of hitting that wall. Is it slowing you? Is it redirecting you? Is it changing the attitude of the car? Is it making an unchaseable run? All of those things come into play. And again, title's on the line here. Frederick Aasbo coming to this round, as far as a contender in the championship as well. He's currently sitting second in points, so this is a big one for Frederick Aasbo out of the gate as well, going against Joshua Love. Joshua Love would love to play Dark Horse. Got that new all-black livery. Again, new sponsor. He's out front. Jasper Keys Clothing Company. And here we go. Let's see what we got. Josh Love out front. Frederick Aasbo. Just one of the best chase drivers, hence why he's 2-time champion. He's defending champion with the star on his back, Rockstar that is. Joshua Love initiates nice on the bank, but Frederick Aasbo shining bright like a gold diamond into that second outside zone, the power alley now into the 3rd. Not as deep as Joshua Love was. Now let's see how they execute that final outside zone. You see Freddie tuck into the smoke and just mimic that angle across the finish line, almost making contact beyond. And we have seen that before, which is just an absolute tragedy because it's just such a bummer. You're like, oh, it's not even on the course. It's after the finish line. It doesn't count.
That was, I would expect to see more proximity from Aasbo there. He was in the game, definitely, not, one of those chases that isn't in proximity, but through the infield wasn't as close. But right here you can see that in the lead there, Love is slightly lower than Aasbo was on his lead. Right here, Aasbo gives him a little bit of space through the infield, just a little bit more than you'd expect there. Aasbo, like you said in the chase, misses outside zone number 3, and then as he transitions here, nice and tight, and this is where he puts the exclamation point on. Nice and close, great mimic all the way through the finish line.
He wasn't as deep, just to point that out. Aasbo wasn't as deep as Joshua Love, did have that proximity, but we talk about that pocket, you kind of don't want to exceed the front wheels. Watch it again, and again, that I like to call it the truth serum, the overhead, the eye in the sky. You can see he gets the proximity, not as deep. Am I correct in saying, or you just kind of like that pocket?
Yeah, no. Zone 4, I think he was pretty good. He was maybe just a foot further forward than he could have been, but it was really the outside zone 3 area that was of concern. So, looking at the results here now.
And here we go, slide him left for Aasbo or right for Love, and there it is, Frederick Aasbo. Kelly driver, looking forward to seeing what he throws down here in the signature pony that is the Ford Mustang. I think engine management firing off into that outside zone. Perfect, look how settled Justin Pollock is up front. Those white wheels, again, it always highlights when there's minimal or no correction out of those front wheels. Great job, good transition into that third outside zone. Nick Novak gains some proximity, but needs to mimic that angle. Let's see what, if Novak flexes on him, tries to drop in, and he does. That was really well done, but you saw just how much muscle was right there towards the end. But Nick's swing going from that inside clip to the last outside zone was really well done. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, as we look at the replay, I think they both had a nice initiation, but Novak started falling off pretty quickly here on outside zone 1. You can see he was within a couple cars length, but right there he starts falling back. He's running slightly less angle, a little bit lower on outside zone 1. In the lead position there, JTP is doing a great job. I think Novak maybe dropped a tire in outside zone 2 and then wasn't in 3, whereas Justin overshot 3 just ever so slightly, but did a good job of filling it. And then right there, Novak tries to dive in, but just gets kind of on that wrong line that doesn't let him stay close through to the finish. So a couple of areas there where JTP definitely has
advantage.
An advantage, but can also improve upon what Novak did in his chase. So work on the proximity and putting the car mimicking, what the lead driver is doing line-wise as well. In the lead position now, Nick needs to run high in outside zone 1. He needs to go deep in the zones. I would say his one opportunity is leaving outside zone 3 where it ends. As long as he's filling everything else as well as JTP did, he could have slight advantage there if he does a better job in zone 3, just kind of leaving it where it ends.
Justin Pollock's line going from that outside zone 1 into 2 in that power alley was very fluid. And that was something I really want to point out before we get Nick Novak out front. And look at that, he's locked and loaded. But Justin Pollock, you talk about what he needs to do, and he's doing that. Falls down some wavering in that chase position, but watch Nick Novak come to that second outside zone, fills it. Justin Pollock buried in smoke. Now Nick Novak, let's see that line. Justin dives in on the inside. And Novak brings it into that last outside zone. That allows Pollock to get right to the door. So kind of difficult to watch both cars at the same time, but watch the line. Nick Novak, I think he did what what you needed to do, but also Pollock did have that proximity, but unfortunately I think there was some wavering. He did get close, but then you saw him kind of drop down in the latter portion of that. And then, I mean, kudos to Justin Pollock. He was just absolutely bathing in smoke going into that power alley outside zone 2 and 3. Yeah,
honestly, we'd prefer to see Justin higher on outside zone 1 and matching that angle, but you could see he was slightly lower on outside zone 1, and you can see that the car was moving around quite a bit in the chase position. So if you look at Justin, yes, he's closer, but look at his angle. Quite a bit of movement there. He actually dropped down, lost some angle a couple of times as he comes through that outside zone 1 area. Nick's doing a decent job in the lead. And right there, Justin misses outside zone 3 in the chase position. Comes by inside clip 1, drops a tire, then drops potentially another tire. So Justin's not really positioning his car very well in the chase there, and he's not matching the angle, having some issues as well. So lead to lead, chase to chase, you may find that there's some pretty big similarities in terms of errors that have been made.
I mean, the outside zone 1, how much of that does it play a role in the outcome? There we go, the fans are hyped. How important of a role does outside zone 1 play? in your mind?
Well, it's pretty big. It is such a large section of the track, and that's worth 14 points on line alone when we were doing qualifying, and then 10 points on angle throughout that whole sector there. So actually, it's 2 sectors in qualifying. So it's a big sector where we'd like to see the lead car settled. We'd like to see the chase car close and settled as well, and you could see quite a bit of movement in Justin's car. So in that situation, you look at is close proximity with a lower line, maybe a little bit less angle. Is that equivalent to same line, same angle, but further back? So that's where the comparisons come in, and where it gets a little bit tricky.
Right.
And the years of experience that the three of us have come into seeing who would have an advantage in that situation. So I've got my vote in. It seems like we're just waiting for the other guys, and once we get their votes in, then we'll be able to see who moves on here.
All right, a lot of elaboration here, a lot of things to process. All right, let's score it. Here we go. Justin Pollock or Nick Novak. Do we have a victor? Is it decided? Let's get the overhead view, and I believe we'll see some more. Are we going back to? We are going back to the one more time battle of Field and Boxes, but first the outcome of JTP and Nick Novak. 1 vote for Justin Pollock, one more time, and JTP gets the win. JTP gets the win, and Ryan, you went with the one more time.
Yep.
The other 4th, Odie Boxes. Qualifying 29th. Lights extinguished. Here we go. Matt Field out front. Odie Boxes in the chase position. Make some noise, Seattle. Here we go. The battle in Seattle going down between the frenemies. Matt Field, strong initiation. The 4-star white wheel standing out like a sore thumb. Oh, man. Odie Boxes getting in the door of them. Now coming into that power alley. Odie gains that composure. Nice job. Didn't risk it as big as he did on that first run. Now in that tight inside clip. Coming in at last outside zone. Field and Boxes. This is what you expected here with this one more time battle. The crowd erupts and stomping their feet for this amazing battle, and we're only in the 32.
So from my perspective, as someone who voted for Field on the first run, I see that Odie cleaned up his chase in a big way here. Looking at where his car is positioned going through outside zone 1, he's on the exact same line as Field, and he's so close. That is an incredible level of driving skill right there. He stays mimicking exactly what Field did through 2. Outside zone 3, he did miss, but he did position his car a lot better on that transition. And then looking through outside zone 4, pretty close through the finish line there. That was an incredible run from both drivers. Field, I don't really think made any errors in the lead. That was pretty solid. He put the car everywhere it needed to be. So he's setting the bar really high for Odie now as Odie goes into the lead position. And in the chase, Odie set the bar incredibly high for Field, who needs to stay really close from start to finish and stick it to Odie's door.
Yeah, I think if Field nails that outside zone 3, the transition in the power alley, that might just be the nail in the coffin, but he's got to start out strong and he's got to finish strong all the way through. He knows what he needs to do. Here we go, Odie Boxes initiates big angle, and there, you ask, you shall receive. And Matt Field does it at the proximity now. You can see he kicks out a little bit more to mimic that angle. Now into the power alley, Matt Field drops back. Ooh, he comes up a bit short there. Big implications here. Our current points leader fighting for it against Odie Boxes, his frenemy. Did Odie Boxes just defeat Matt Field, or did he stand strong? Remember, this is 32, 100 points for the win. They're separated by 118, but also who's watching and drooling right now? You got Ryan Turek, you got Dylan Hughes, you got Chris Forsberg, and you got Frederick Aasbo sitting in second, and he's already in the 16.
Yeah, now let's look at the car positioning and compare this to what we just saw on the first run. Odie, maybe not, yeah, he's high, he's really high in there. You can see that Field doesn't quite match the angle, and then right there, Field falls off, misses outside zone 2. Odie kind of misses outside zone 2. Odie misses outside zone 3 as well in the lead, and Field is right there with him. So this is, I think, way more complicated than it looked on that, first seeing it live. Now that you see a little bit more accurately, you see that Odie maybe didn't do the job in the lead that you thought he did on initial viewing of it. So watch Odie's line here as he comes through outside zone number 2. Is his tire all the way in the box? Nope. Is his tire in the box for 3? Also no.
Yeah,
so Field is missing a couple of things, like outside zone 1. But now Odie is also missing things in the lead position. So it comes down to who made the bigger errors in the lead and who made the bigger errors in the chase.
When I say that's great, is just seeing those different perspectives, and this is why the replays are so critical. Again, I'm having to call it with my naked eye and seeing what's going on, knee-jerk reaction. after analyzing it, like you said, here's Odi Bakshis, who didn't get out to outside zone 2 and 3. So here we go with that BC Racing go for gold side-by-side instant replay. It's hard, so you can see that's Matt Field on the left, he's leading, and then Odi's leading on the right screen.
So look at Odi on the right screen, how close he is, how well he's mimicking, and then, sorry, that's the other way around. Oh my goodness. My eyeballs, you need to put one on each screen here, and it's not easy, but yeah, you can see certain things missed by both drivers in both positions. It almost, I don't want to say how I feel because I don't want to influence the other guys, but I'm definitely leaning one way on this one.
And
woo,
we're seeing some results here, and asking the fans at home. Here we go, slide him left for Field, slide him left for Odi. We got Matt Field gets the win.
We are so split today.
Yeah, and you know what? I could Falcon Tires, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Dylan Hughes Racing, BMW. Here we go. Dylan Hughes out front, who qualified 5th yesterday. A great showing for him. Initiates high on the bank. Simon Olsen. He's going to need to mimic that angle. He does get close. That great carbon Kevlar HGK kitted Supra, big angle from Dylan, almost going the outside of the track. That would be essentially be like kind of a deduction, not an incomplete. Simon, you can see him kind of clamoring, lunging forward, but needs to mimic that angle. Gets close there, I like that towards the latter portion, but just a little too late there for Mr. Olsen. Yeah. Dylan's currently sitting 5th in points, and here are the points at stake at the end of the day. Obviously, 100 points for first, 91 for second, 80. You see it right there. But
you can read the numbers.
Yeah, you can read that. So again, those are the points. Talking championship, baby.
I want to look at Simon's initiation here. 3, 2, right at the 1 cone. He did it all right there. Yeah. Looking at what Dylan's doing in the lead position, nice and high in the zone. You can see Simon moving around in the chase, drops down a little bit early there. Dylan does go wide after outside zone number 1, drops a tire, gets to outside zone 2, does it nicely, and then Simon's probably thrown off by that tire off a little bit earlier on, and his line is suffering a little bit in the second portion of the course here, not really putting it in the same spot as Dylan is in the lead. So we have an opportunity here for Simon in the lead. He needs to leave outside zone 1, get to outside zone 2, a little bit smoother than Dylan did, not drop a tire there, and have a nicer line through that area of the track.
Some great insight there from Ryan Lontaine. If you're just tuning in, we are not even halfway through our top 32. Here goes Simon Olsen. Again, from Norway in that 2JZ powered Toyota Supra, the all-new Supra. Dylan Hughes, you can see him kind of kick back a little bit, and now he jumps up. Simon Olsen, great job right now. Let's see what we got here coming to that power alley. Throw some more angle at it. Dylan Hughes into that 3rd outside zone. Looks like Simon Olsen definitely got some confidence in between that. Oh, boingo!
Wow.
Wow, bing bong, there we go. Dylan Hughes jumps up.
That was a huge hit, Jared.
That was massive. That was big.
Dylan got some serious airtime there. That is unexpected in that situation, like that area of the track.
But is it? That's where Odi shut down.
Yeah, a little bit later, I guess. Like that was right in the transition, and you could see that Dylan was already committed. There was nothing he could do. The car was rotating. Sort of hard to change direction when the car is already rotating towards one direction. So clearly, he had a moment there where he couldn't change where he was going, and made contact in a pretty big way. So this is going to be some big repairs from both cars here, man. Unfortunately.
Make some noise for him as he steps outside of the car. Dylan Hughes and Simon Olsen. Take a look at it again here. What went wrong? And obviously you saw Simon balk and check up.
Yeah, Simon in the lead. You can see he has less angle than you'd want in the lead position there. Maybe his line wasn't ideal. Dylan is on a slightly tighter line through that outside 1 to outside zone 2. They both missed 3, but right here, this is the big story right here.
Boink.
Oh, that hit so hard.
That front left hit that back right, and I think that's what threw him up. The tire. It went tire on tire, so that back right is rotating forward, and then bloop, it just kicks him up.
And you can see the whole rear quarter of Simon's car kind of wrinkle as he hits him. That was big. Dylan's car goes up in the air, like you said, tire riding up on the other tire, and right here you see Simon's car shut off completely. Dylan looked like almost 4 wheels up in the air there. Definitely the 2 fronts. Let's look at it from a different angle here. We'll be able to see exactly how many tires. Jeez. This is a big hit.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, maybe 3. Maybe the bright rear stayed down. But anyway, that was very big. That's they're shaking hands, fist bumping. Everything's fine. This is a part of competitive motorsports. You know, things like this are going to happen, but we got to get Dylan's car off the track. He's going to have some repairs to do here, and so is Simon. Of course, one of them is going to be a little more stressed as they're repairing the car because one person will move on. Sounds like the scores are in, so we're going to see who won.
The big thing here, I guess the silver lining is, as I'm assuming our slide left, for Dylan Hughes, the dozer, lives up to his name and bounces. Smoke is not a criteria. You need to throw it down here. Joao Barillon, he's got the power. What's he going to do? Joao Barillon initiates, big angle from Joao. You can see Castro trying to play catch-up here. Joao sticking it to the wall. Big angle from him, some wavering there from Castro in that chase position. Now coming down into that second outside zone. Joao does not hit that second outside zone. Does get into the third, but he compromised that. Now Castro, this could be an opportunity for him as he didn't have the ideal. Wow, big swing right there. Just snaps back up to the finish line. He needs a finish left. Needs to finish a little bit more left.
Joao's car did not sound healthy at the finish line. I don't know if you noticed.
I didn't.
Full throttle, screaming all the way around the track. He got to the finish line, and he barely made it over the finish line with angles. So you can see that his car, I don't know if he was off throttle or what the deal is, but let's watch. Let's watch what's going on here in the replay. You can see in the lead there, Joao's pretty high on outside zone 1. You can see Castro a little bit lower there, but right here, Joao completely misses outside zone number 2 by a big margin. Gets into 3, Castro misses 3. They come by inside clip number 1, and then they transition here. This is where Joao put a big exclamation point on his run yesterday, and you can see barely any smoke as he came over the finish line. He barely got over that finish line with angles, so.
And here we go. Denofa will lead, Power giving chase. Denofa coming out of the start chicane, initiates into the big bank. He always likes to start out strong, big angle by Power, a little lower than Denofa. And now into that second outside zone. There goes Denofa putting that Nitto tire. Oh, and big hit from Power. Hits him square. And Chelsea Denofa continues on, but Mike Power shuts it down. That was pretty game right there. And Power just slapped him, just wheel to wheel, door to door, but Denofa didn't phase him too much, man. It looks like Mike Power, hopefully just aesthetic.
It almost looked like Power used Chelsea as a stopper there.
Yeah, he came in hot.
Yeah, that is definitely a big decel zone there. That is the biggest one we have on this track, and you need to get your car slowed down. But let's see what happened from up in the air here. This is going to give us the perfect view. You can see Chelsea nice and high in outside zone 1. Power moving around a little bit in the chase position there. Right here, Chelsea gets just not really into outside zone 2, and then Power comes in and hits Chelsea. It doesn't look like Chelsea was slowing down in any kind of way that was, you know, illegal or not right. I don't know. Illegal is the wrong word. It looked like he used the decel zone properly.
It wasn't anything intrusive, right?
Right. So it looked like Power just was trying to gain proximity there and misjudged coming through the smoke. Yeah, and it got bumped. Chelsea got bumped wide on that zone, but kept going. No problem at all through the.
And Joao Barillon looking to win his first battle. He hasn't advanced into the 16 this year yet. So, oh, and just as I said that, looks like Reeder does leave Robbins on the line. So this very well could be not a buy run for him, but with Robbins pulling up. Here's Reeder, who got the win in New Jersey, round 4. Fought tooth and nail, and Travis Reeder, he's got his family here cheering him on. And Reeder's got to have a lot of confidence, not only getting the victory, but just feeling at home, feeling here, you know, back here. Castro, here we go, Castro out front. Castro out front, and Joao Barillon in the chase position. Here comes Castro. Jordan Methodon, GR 86. Oh, there we go. Joao seems to have found and figured out that gremlin as Castro seems to find that angle and that height on the bank. Now coming down into the power alley, dials it in. Perfect on the outside zone 2. Joao misses the outside zone 3. Now look at Castro. Found the sweet spot, the Dominican driver. Seems like he had a little bit of a checkup there. Castro did. So that's that outside zone just wreaking havoc on so many drivers, both yesterday and going into today.
All right, let's look at this replay from the sky. Going to give us all the angles we need to see here. Great initiation from both. You can see Castro pretty high in outside zone 1. Could be slightly tighter there, but you see in the chase position, Joao's got a little bit less angle, and it decreases as he gets further down the zone. In the lead, Castro does a great job on 2, misses outside zone 3 ever so slightly there, but Joao's right there with them. And like you said, Castro sort of had a little bit of hesitation going towards outside zone 4, but makes it over the line with angle. So just a slight hesitation on zone 4. So we're going to try to get a side-by-side, Jared, and see what we can see. It is hard to remember going back. You know, we got a battle in between there, so it's nice to have a little refresher.
Yeah, just recounting that run. Like I said, this is where it gets interesting. You know, we had the contact between Power and Denofa, if you can recall, just minutes ago, and then obviously with Joao and Castro.
Yeah, so here we go. One eyeball per screen, and you can have a look at Joao leading on the left, Castro leading on the right. So you can see that Castro's line is significantly lower in the chase position until the latter half of outside zone number 1. And Joao is closer, has a little bit less angle. Joao misses outside zone 2 by such a huge margin. And then in the lead there, Castro wasn't as deep in 3 as we'd like to see. And right here is where we see a little bit of an issue from both of them. They both get over the finish line with angle, but you can see that Joao had a bit of a power issue, which he did allude to shortly after that first run. So it looks like he fixed it, like you said, for the second one.
Both these drivers awaiting the outcome here, Castro or Joao.
He was giving you the horn.
That's you. That's me. Throwing the horns, baby. Got the Adam LZ shirt on, the Sparko lid. Let's see if flying the flag there for LZ. A lot of Adam LZ fans. He's coming up shortly, about 3 battles away. And waiting the outcome here, Joao Berrion or Jonathan Castro. Will revisit Denofa and Power after this, ideally.
What?
Split decision. Castro gets the win. I was like, that was moving parts all over there. You went with Joao. The other two just, yeah, you guys are
way opposites today.
It's, yeah. Mom and dad are in a fight right now. I'm joking.
We don't like each other.
But we're literally physically split. You're over here kind of on the right side of the judges booth, and they're over there. And I mean, I don't know if the perspective is different from over here to there, but we're utilizing the screens a lot. And how we doing, FD fans? So there it is. Castro gets the win. That's awesome. So I was just talking about Adam LZ, and here he is. Always a crowd favorite, Wataru Masuyama and Adam LZ. So Wataru Masuyama, the Buy Now Japan S15, he has been absolutely on it lately. And Adam LZ always has the support of his fans. And here he comes in that AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5D. He's on those Nitto tires. And LZ. All right, leaving that start chicane. Let's see if the fade comes in hot. Wataru Masuyama, big angle from him. Adam LZ needs to close that gap. He does have the angle, not the proximity. Now into that second, very shallow and outside zone 2 in the power alley by LZ. Now into that inside clip. Big angle there from Masuyama. He does exceed it. He drops that tire off course. LZ definitely throws it down the latter portion of the track. But LZ, again, big gap off the start, and then coming to that power alley is very shallow on outside zone 2.
Was there a wall tap at outside zone 4 from Masuyama, and what was LZ's initiation like here?
3-2. Like right
at the one cone. Yeah, you can see that Masuyama's really high on outside zone 1. Carlock's completely set. No movement. Really looking great there. And it looked like LZ got almost to the wall there at outside zone 1 at the end. Misses outside zone 2 completely. Masuyama does a good job in the lead position. Puts one tire off after inside clip 1, getting himself lined up for zone 4. And he does tap the wall as he comes over the finish line with reduced angle. So looking at it from these more ground level cameras here, it's going to give us a different perspective. And look at LZ, angles up really big there at the end of outside zone 1, makes him miss outside zone 2, and doesn't do a great job on 3 either. Coming through the outside zone 4 area, this is where Masuyama's got the wall tap, and ooh, he goes almost straight over the finish line. But in terms of a lead to lead, now LZ is going to have to run that high level lead run, right? High on the zone 1, fill 2, 3, and get wide on 4, but not tap the wall that straightens him up. In the chase position, Masuyama's got to stay close. If he gets proximity and mimics that line, he's going to have an easy chase-to-chase win comparatively.
I think it might have been a blessing that LZ wasn't tight to Masuyama on that last outside zone. That could have been a little more violent. Here we go, Adam LZ now got the clean air, the auto zone, Mustang RTR Spec 5 initiates, good initiation there, and look at Masuyama, he talked about that proximity, he does close it, but not all the way, it takes a very shallow low line on the bank, into the outside zone too. Masuyama just buried in the smoke, Adam LZ takes a wide line around that inside clip, watch him transition here, Masuyama, wow, good composure there by Masuyama, oh, talk about hitting that wall, you talk about it, and LZ does it. Bumper budget, those RTR boys eating up those bumpers.
That was a big hit, Jared.
Yeah.
As you can tell by the rear of his car completely gone. Trunk, bumper. So, comparatively here, lead to lead, chase to chase, we're gonna have to keep a close eye on where LZ was placing his car and what Masuyama was doing in the chase position. So on initiation, big flick from LZ. He's riding not quite as high on outside zone 1. I think that Masuyama was in his lead, but Masuyama's got some big errors already in the chase position there. You can see him making some big mistakes. And there you can see LZ does okay in 1, just off of outside zone 2. He has a weird line going to inside clip 1, and then as he approaches 4 here, makes big contact, straightens up quite a bit as he goes over the finish line. So I think Masuyama had a big advantage here, or opportunity in the chase position, and he may have squandered it somewhat by not really getting his car placed properly. You can see that in the lead though, LZ is making some weird lines there. That outside zone 3 to inside clip 1, and then tapping the wall there at outside zone 4. A lot of errors here to look at from both drivers.
Looks like the fans are voting right now, and that we have a live poll on our live stream, and they're saying 49% Masuyama, 21% LZ, and 30% one more time. So that's the fans tuning in. Hey, that's you. We do have to go back to the Denofa power battle. Yeah,
that Mustang is looking worse for wear.
I mean, they're designed, they have bash bars, but only to a certain point. Here we go, slide him left for Masuyama, right for Adam LZ, and Masuyama gets the victory, taking out Adam LZ. So unfortunately, I don't know what you'd call it if you come at an angle. Wishboning?
Why boning?
All right, here we go, Mike Power out front, that Power S15. Chelsea Nova giving him some room, but look at Chelsea, you see him reeling him in, click, 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 and then here comes Power now. From New York, dropping into that power alley. The power alley right now as Denofa taking a tempered approach. And coming into that last outside zone goes Power and Denofa. And with...
That was an interesting line from Denofa in the chase position.
Sorry, real quick. Denofa trying to drop that top 32 loss that he had in St. Louis.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was a big blow to the system. And keep in mind, again, sitting 6th in points.
Right. So we're going to do the lead-to-lead, chase-to-chase comparison here. Watching this replay, it looks like in the chase, in the lead there, Power has a nice initiation, but then has a bit of a bobble right after initiation. You can see him slightly correcting. Chelsea gave him some room, but like you said, reeled him in. I think he expected to be faster around outside zone 1, and that was a pretty good assumption to make, a good calculation there. Chelsea does a good job of mimicking what Power is doing in the lead, coming through outside zone 3 to inside clip 1, and right there they both dropped tires, so Chelsea's just mimicking what Power's doing in the lead through the inside clip 1 outside zone 4 area, so you can't really fault Chelsea for chasing and doing what he's supposed to in the chase. Yeah, so I think something that needs to be pointed out is that Mike Power did have an incomplete on run 1, so that sort of gives a huge advantage to Chelsea going into the second run of that battle.
Hurst, a rising star here in the Pro Championship. Let's see what we got. The NOS Energy Drink, Nissan Z of Chris Forsberg, initiates into the bank. Let's see Hurst, you can see him gaining closer, gaining some ground. Big angle there from Chris Forsberg. Again, qualifying 3rd. Let's see how it enters the power alley. Into the 2nd outside zone. Into the 3rd. Jonathan Hurst diving in on the inside. Tight to that inside clip. Now transitioning into that final outside zone. You can see the attitude of Hurst's car is kind of like right there. Just, you can see kind of swaying back and forth. Good job by Forsberg, and hands are on the car. So just real quick, what we're looking at here, this is now officially getting Ryan Turek's team on the car.
All right, looking at the replay from up in the sky, Jared. Nice flick from Forsberg in the lead there, and you can see not quite a failure to initiate, but definitely an issue on initiation from Hurst in the chase position. And as they come down to the infield here, you can see Hurst getting close at outside zone number 2, and Forsberg sort of misses the second half of that zone. And then as they transition for 3, Hurst falls, Hurst does a little bit better in the second half of that infield area, but definitely an error there on initiation from Hurst. The car didn't look settled. Got the car to slightly angle, but lowered it a little bit, so definitely an issue there at initiation from Hurst.
All right, there is Jonathan Hurst now leading. Forsberg giving chase. They leave the start line. Here we go. The AZ Rags BMW throws it in aggressively. Forsberg gets right to the side of him, has to back off a little bit. You can see getting closer and closer. Big angle there from Hurst to that second outside zone. Forsberg not being shaken. Now into that third outside zone. Through the power alley goes Jonathan Hurst. Forsberg right there. Let's see how they handle this transition. And gets right to the side of him and brings it on home. Big angle there from Hurst.
Big wall hit from Hurst.
Massive wall smash.
Look at the
Hulk
back of that
smash.
car. I know that I think the trunk wasn't on at the beginning of the run, but there was a big crunch in the back left of that car. So I think that was a pretty significant hit from Hurst at outside zone 4. Clearly knowing that he needs to lay down an incredible lead run against Forsberg. So here we go. Initiation. Hurst did better in the lead than he did in the chase on initiation. Forsberg's right there with him around outside zone 1, and you can see that Forsberg's matching the line, matching the angle. Not a lot of movement from Forsberg's car right there. Does a good job of mimicking on 2. Forsberg not as deep in outside zone 3, but Hurst doing a decent job in the lead. And this is the area right here we want to have a look at as Hurst pounds that wall pretty hard with the left rear corner and has a bit of a bobble as he goes over the finish line. So definitely an error from Hurst in that area. Not going to be helping his case here in the lead-to-lead, chase-to-chase comparisons.
All right, so you can see all hands on deck here for Ryan Turek, trying to find that. Make sure there's no oil coming out. That's the vitals right there. And awaiting the outcome here between Forsberg and Hurst. And here it is. Slide him left for Forsberg, right for Hurst. And Chris Forsberg gets the win. Forsberg gets the win. And Jeff Jones will lead. Sorenson giving chase. Let's see how Jones does. Jones qualified 14th. Sorenson qualified 19th, so fairly equally matched. Jones out of the gate, big swing, and smoke machine turns on. Jones, big angle. Brandon Sorenson, he needs to get involved. He is low and lacking angle. As Jones now comes to that second outside zone. Jeff Jones, that Heddelbrock supercharger, takes a wide line, but tightens it back up. That was a crazy good line there from Jones. That was interesting. Just it had that wide swing, and I thought he was going to miss that inside clip. Was wider, and you know, it looked dramatic. But at the end of the day, Brandon just was not part of the equation.
No, you can see right from the get-go here, outside zone 1, Brandon falls back and down as well. So look at initiation. You can see low angle from Brandon early on. He's down in the second lane, basically, way off of outside zone 1, not matching the line, the angle. His proximity isn't great either through that area. So definitely a big miss from Sorenson there in the lead position, like you were saying. Jeff Jones doing a great job in the lead, added angle going inside clip 1 to get that line kind of tightened in there and made it work. Looked like a great lead run from Jeff Jones. So as we switch positions for them now, Jeff in the chase, match line, match angle, that's going to be a big one. Have more proximity, that's going to give him that advantage that he needs, chase-to-chase comparison. In the lead position, Sorenson has his work cut out for him right now. Jones did a pretty great job up in the lead position.
And just the momentum that Jeff Jones is riding, just even from last year, just he's gained a lot of interest. He's having fun, but he wants to win. He wants to get on the box. Brandon's going to try to get in his way, but he really, as you say, needs to step up here and put down a solid lead run, especially on this big bank. He's got the clean air, that United States Air Force BMW, and he's doing exactly what we had hoped. Ooh, some wavering there. Man, he was flirting with that wall, saying, hey, how you doing? And then, swings wide outside zone 2. And that's where that gets precarious, is that's hard to follow for Jones with him going 2 wheels off. Imagine if this is Atlanta, you go into the dirt or you go off course.
Yep.
You got dirt, you got grass, you got all these elements, but obviously more forgiving going just beyond and getting to the asphalt. But you saw him explode those candlestick cones, and that just says, hey, I'm way off.
Yeah, those cones are placed 4 feet off the edge of the track, so to hit those, that's at least 1, probably 2 tires off course there for Brandon in that area. And unfortunately for Brandon, Jeff Jones here.
Here in the 32, that has major implications. Here we go, Ryan Turek out front. Kyle Mohan in the chase position. Ryan Turek initiates that Toyota GR Corolla. And looks like he is doing exactly what he needs to do. Hammering down that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla into that second outside zone, into the third. Here comes Mohan. Turek with a wide swing, and there's that line. He hangs it out there, tightens it back up into that final outside zone. Goes Ryan Turek. A brand new father, him and his wife at home, Shannon, and his son Roman watching, cheering him on from New Hampshire. And here, let's take a look at it again.
All right, looking at the replay from the sky, we're going to get a great view of how these cars are moving around. You can see some wavering from Kyle Mohan early on there, and there's a pretty big gap between Ryan Turek in the lead and Mohan in the chase. Turek almost gets out to outside zone 2, does a good job on 3. Mohan misses 3. Again, not really in proximity, slightly gaining, but not really getting as close as we'd like to see there in the chase position. Turek put his car in most of the right spots there. You can see he wasn't quite as wide in outside zone 2 as we'd like, but great job on 1, 3, and 4. So Mohan, what does he have to do in the lead now? He needs to be high on 1, 2, 3, 4. He has to do as good as Ryan Turek did in his lead or better. So his one opportunity, would be outside zone 2, which is really the only spot that Turek missed on his lead run. And Turek in the chase now needs to be close, needs to be matching that angle and the line.
Fluidity, I think that's what's going to happen, what needs to happen for Kyle Mohan, just keeping it fluid, but you need to start strong. It's kind of like bookends, you got the bread, you kind of got the outside zone 1 where you start, and you got outside zone 4, right? In between, just make it good, make it meaty, but it really, you don't really have a sandwich if you don't start with 2 pieces of bread. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just hungry, I guess.
Yeah,
like Jared says, let's eat.
Let's eat.
Here we go. Kyle Mohan is going to throw it down. Where is Ryan Turek? You see Mohan. Looked like Ryan Turek was maybe kind of saying, hey, I'm going to pedal back here and see how it happens. But might have given him some, whoa, buddy. That might have, again, don't want to make claims.
Wow.
Mohan goes obviously off course. Let's take a look at it. Get that overhead view. Ryan Turek applies the pressure. Okay, let's back that one up. Let's back some craziness just happened there. I was like, look over, and I felt like he was at the start line when. Yeah, what do you think? What's your take?
Well, what I really loved was Turek, the way he dove in from zone 2 to 3 and got so close to Mohan there. Didn't make contact, I don't think, but stayed with him. It was incredible. Like you said, Turek in the beginning left a lot of space. He knew that he was faster than Mohan around outside zone 1. He gave him the space, but he reeled him in all the way. By the end of outside zone 1, he was in that proximity that we want him to be in. And there you see Mohan 3,
maybe.
3, I think for sure. So 3 for sure, potentially even 4. That 4 tire maybe on the line. But the way that Turek just adjusted in the chase position there was really, really strong. So unfortunately for Mohan, he'll get an incomplete on that outside zone 2 area for dropping 3 tires. Ryan Turek just put his car in all the right places, gained that proximity by the end of outside zone 1, and stuck it to him through the rest of the track.
And what I thought was a good approach was that it was a good defense. It was a good defensive strategy. So we're seeing, again, that angle, you definitely see 3, but that front right, regardless, 3 off, that's an incomplete, unchaseable lead run. That's what it really comes down to. So it's kind of a moot point because he did go 3 off, and that was absolutely for certain. So And here we go, slide him left for Turek, right for Mohan. I think you know the outcome, unfortunately, for Mohan, but stoked for Ryan Turek getting the car back to the throttle booth at 4 p.m. Falcon Tire, they got a party going on during the halftime break. And Federico Sharifo, he'll be joining me over at the K&N halftime party as well. Here we go. Michael Essa, FCP, Euro, Liqui Moly, Bilstein, BMW, and the Fiorella, the Ferrari. Whoa, look at Essa dragging bumper on the wall. Let's see how Essa throws down. Just riding that track edge. Oh boy. Almost went into the side of the BMW, but these guys both, look at these European monsters right now. Absolute weapons. Michael Essa currently 17th in the standings coming into this round 6.
Essa did a great job in the infield, putting that left rear tire right on the line and outside zone 2. Nice transition to 3. Really nicely done from Essa in the lead. And let's look at it from the sky here to get every little nuance that we can. Essa nice and wide on outside zone 1. You can see him high all the way to the wall. In the chase position there, Sharifo very consistent on proximity, not as close as we'd like to see, but very consistent. You can see Sharifo dives in there, misses outside zone 3, but takes that opportunity to build proximity. Unfortunately, he has to kind of reel it back because he gets a little too close too quick and loses proximity again through to the finish line.
And you could see just a kind of an exhale, right? You can kind of feel it, you can kind of hear it just coming from those gentlemen. Just the exhale of relief that they made it into the top 16. So that's great for them. All right, here we go. The second half of this battle, Federico Sharifo and Michael Essa. Let's see how the Ferrari 599 GTB does. Oh man, looking good. Good angle from Fetty. And now Michael Essa. You can see that proximity there. How is Essa going to handle this? The Ferrari with the swing in front of the BMW. Looks like Essa joins the party, gets that proximity now coming across. And they crawl across the finish line. I mean, what's your take?
Well, Federico looks like he did a good job on outside zone 2 and 3, but coming into the deeper part of the infield there, had a hesitation going outside zone 4, but Essa adapted really well to it. So let's look at it again from the sky. You can see Federico higher than he was in the chase here in the lead, getting nice and tight up on the wall there. In the chase position, you can see Essa a little bit closer than Federico was on his chase. And right here, you see Federico angle up really big there, kind of a bit of a decel, misses outside zone 3. But right here is where the major problem happened for me. You can see there's a hesitation from Federico. Maybe it's a desire to not go all the way to the wall there, but Essa adjusts really nicely in the chase position.
All right, there it is. Michael Essa gets the win. And he is greeted not by Travis Reeder at Walmart, but he will be greeted by the winner of our next battle. Well, we get prepared, but joining me up in the booth, 2011 Formula Drift champion, Daijiro Yoshihara. Yoshihara, what's cracking, dude?
Good to see you guys.
Likewise.
It's been a while.
I saw some fans. They were stoked to see you here. You can hear them out there. Make some noise for Yoshihara. You hung up your helmet in the Formula Drift world, but you're still a busy man. You're doing demos with Pitt and Paddock, your BRZs here, your AE86 here. What else are you doing, man?
That's about it for today.
No, I mean, I know today, but you're a busy man.
Speaks, like time attacks, and still driving, and still try to see everybody here. Yeah. So today, we are here for the ride-along experience. I wanted to thank Formula Drift for giving us the time for that, and I think everybody really happy about it.
Absolutely,
and hopefully we can do this more often in other FD rounds.
I love it. Yeah, the Pitt and Paddock BRZ, if you haven't seen it, it's over in the car show. The 86, what's under the hood of the 86? Because it is 86 day, by the way.
It's a FK8 Civic Type R engine.
Sick. I like it.
Please come out to check it out.
Yeah, high fives and handshakes from 2011 Formula Drift champion Daijiro. Dai, stick around. You haven't been up here in the booth that much because you've had success and stuff.
I've been busy with the competing, so maybe today I can just watch.
Are you trying to gun for my my job, Dai?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I can do that.
Stay in, well, I'm not gunning for yours, but all right. So kind of be a judge. You're not judging like officially, but I want you to scrutinize after this. Okay, here we go. Taylor Hall, that comp cams Corvette looks like. No, just lay out. Just lay out. Just hold on. Dai's getting so anxious. He's like, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do? I said, relax. Just relax. Just be Dai Yoshihara.
All right.
So unfortunately, there was a strike there, and was a cone hit, or did he leave the line early? Get clarification over here. But our three judges, Ryan Lantain, Brian Egger, and Chris Yule. What do you think of the Seattle track? Do you like this track or hate it?
This is one of my best, favorite tracks.
Okay.
Yes.
Scoot closer so we can get your pretty face up there.
Seattle, and this is the fastest bank track that you guys have. And I think a lot of driver likes this.
Yeah. Actually, I hate to bring it up. You had one of your worst crashes, one of the worst crashes ever at this track when you debuted that Lexus. You could see that opening when you go initiate actually at the one cone. Yeah, you rode off a car. That car is hanging at Discount Tire, half of it.
I thought I was dying that time.
Yeah, it was a rough one, man. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're here with us. Here we go. Back to the action. Taylor Hall, comp cams, Edelbrock, Corvette. Oh, and goes across the nose of Rome Charpentier and his garage BMW, but not thrown off are either the drivers. Taylor Hall high on the bank. Rome Charpentier drops down a little bit lower, but you can see him sliding back now, coming into that second outside zone, into that power alley. Rome Charpentier taking a shallower line into outside zone 3 now. Into that inside clip goes Taylor Hall. Full pole, Taylor Hall. And Rome Charpentier bringing it across. What do you think of that swing in front of the nose of Rome there? Was that clean? Because we saw it earlier between Dean and Yves Meyer.
That's a tough one.
Yeah?
But I think the follow guy has to deal with it anyways, right?
Yeah. We saw this earlier, so take a look at it again.
Yeah.
You'll see Rome. He's pretty close.
He
can't get in the way.
I know. It's tough, but
unfortunately, there's no contact.
Right. Yeah. And then Taylor did really good lead run. And I think Ron followed really well too, up until coming into the infield. And he got a little bit like a shallow line.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was decent.
Decent, yeah. You could see Rome missing that third outside zone. Look, it's all good, dude. Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. I got a couple beers in, so to me it looks fine.
You're not driving anymore.
I'm not driving.
I love that you said that, because I come in with the judges, Brian Eggert, Ryan Lantain, and his lovely wife Brittany, and I said, there's some days where I come to an event and I just don't want to work. This is work. There's some days where I just want to be like, nah, I quit. Give me a beer. I just want to watch an event and hang out. This is one of those events, man. There's some events where the stars align, the weather, the people, the vibe, all that, and we're feeling the energy right now. Here we go. Yeah, back to the second half of this battle. Rome Charpentier, Garagistic, BMW E36, Taylor full pole, holding that chase position. Oh man, we need Taylor Hall to gain that proximity. Rome with the clean air. Oh! Shreds that back bumper, goes and exceeds the track. Taylor Hall getting a bunch of shrapnel in his face. That's gonna be all up in his beard right now. He's got that got the Willie's beard gear. Taylor Hall, nice job. I mean, Rome, he went into it kind of pushed. Yeah, he pushed, but he kind of went into it late. That was kind of an interesting position there. All right, let's take a look at it again here. What's going through your mind? How do you think Rome was with the clean air?
It was great up until the end of the bank.
Yeah.
He tapped the wall, but I see the front wheel was into the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Which means understeer right there.
Yeah.
So
that's how difficult is that to follow for Taylor? You know what I'm saying? Because here's Rome. He gets in the wall. How difficult is that for Taylor to follow?
When he tapped the wall?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. But at the point, I think he's committing anyways. So there's nothing he can do. And he didn't slow down, so Taylor didn't have any issue.
Yeah. And there it is.
Then he
Proof positive. Taylor Hall gets the victory again. He got some of Rome Charpentier's BMW all up in his Wild Willie's beard. He's sponsored by Wild Willie's. Dai, anything else you want to add, man? Follow you, smash that like button, subscribe, swipe up.
That too, and also I'll be hanging out at the car show area. Okay. Pete and Paddock having a car show right there, and I have a booth out there. So please come out and then check out my 8086 and BRZ, and I will meet you guys out there.
High five. Dai, what do you make of these brackets right here? Predictions, who's going to win the event? Who do you think? Because guess what? You're not a judge. You're not driving. You're not competing.
Yeah.
Make some claims, bro. Like you said, you've had a couple beers right now. What are you feeling?
Okay, man. There's
$5
so many good drivers right now.
Come on, put it out there.
Dude. Well, I was thinking like Taguchi will do well because he won. He got first qualifier, but he's not here anymore.
Because we get Taguchi out.
Unfortunately, so.
Think about our points lead. We got Matt Field. He goes against Pollock. You got Ryan Turek going against Masuyama. Aasbo versus Gucci.
Tough one,
Look,
dude.
Forsberg versus Jones.
Oh my God, I can't really say.
Ever since you left, there's been more people showing up.
It's so competitive right now.
Anybody.
Seriously, anybody can get it. So, yeah, good luck, guys. I will just keep drinking beer and then enjoy your driving right here.
I love it. I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm glad you can show up with us and have some fun. 2011 Formula Drift champion Daijiro Yoshihara's in the building. Pit and paddock. Go join him. Turn 14 distribution. You'll see Dai over in the pits. High fives and handshakes, and maybe buy him a beer. We'll see.
Yeah,
this is round 6 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. We'll be back local time at 5 o'clock. Guess what? That's only in 2 hours. So don't go anywhere. The hot action continues here. Top 16 in 2 hours. And remember, hashtag FDSEA. I'm Jared Deanna, Ryan Montaigne, Chris Yule, Brian Egger, and Dai Yoshihara. The party continues here at Evergreen. We got contact there.